Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Hellsing. Last time on Hellsing, we had the Undead, where we were introduced to Alucard, our main character, and we were also introduced to Police Girl, also known as Saris Victoria. And Saris was, just doing her job when all of her teammates were turned into zombies. And then she tried to find refuge in a church, but the priest was actually the vampire. Alucard came in, killed the priest, which ended up killing Saris as well. And because of that, she decided to become a vampire with Alucard, and she was transferred to the Hellsing organization. Yep, that's pretty much it. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. And with that being said, we might as well get right into this episode of Hellsing. Here we go.
You won't be using that.
Why?
We're both aware of what you are, and you won't be needing a scope.
So. Interesting. Vampire. Gotta use them eyes. Come on. Ah, come on, you gotta do it.
Gareth, take the shot.
Aw. Dang it, Gareth.
I'm sorry, sir.
Some say that failure in your first battle is a sign you'll live longer. But I suppose you'll live as long as you like, or at least till you're sick of it anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe you're too highly strung for this.
Highly strung?
Miss Victoria, we will be taking care of your day-to-day needs.
Walter.
Huh? Will I?
Huh.
Oh.
So she's not going to be used by the general Hellsing military.
You've more to fear from using a silver spoon.
Well, I've never used real silverware before, so I guess that won't be a problem. That didn't come out right.
I recommend that you also refrain from going out in daylight.
Yeah. Vampire.
This is your room for the daylight hours.
There's nothing quite like a room with a view.
Can't go out in the day.
God.
They'd be murdering whole families, drinking their blood, and then using the leftovers to scrawl blasphemous messages on the walls. We're assuming there's at least 2 of them.
They don't make vampires like they used to.
I don't recall anyone asking for your opinion.
Well,
Easy. Yeah. She doesn't want it. Come on, but you gotta have it. Or wait, maybe she... I don't remember. There's something about her. Like she's not a full vampire or something.
Just 9 more to go.
After we do 9 more of these cockers, we're gonna be so much stronger, and we can stay young forever.
Why aren't her eyes red?
Leaf.
this one just might suit you better.
But there's no way I could even lift that thing.
But you are a vampire. Maybe she didn't grasp her powers.
Oh, I get it. That's strange. What's it made of? Is it plastic?
It weighs in at 15 kilos, plus a couple more for ammo.
I assume that's
really
a lot.
That heavy?
You're a vampire, girl.
Do you wish you were out there?
I don't. I appreciate the offer, but nothing satisfies me more than serving you, Sir Integra.
Wonder if that's gonna hold up. I like dropping the hint, though. Alright, you gonna take the shot this time? What's with the weird amount of headlights?
Target is confirmed. Releasing control art restriction system to level 5.
Whoa. Level 5, he's getting serious.
He should be thankful.
Children without faith. If you had any control, you would travel as fog or as a bat.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you?
You've gone and taken all those lives, and not even because you were thirsty.
Yeah.
Is it fun, huh? Is that what it takes for filth like you to get off? Cheap little 2-bit terrors.
Yeah. Oof. He's faster. And you missed.
Don't fail me this time, police girl.
Okay. She's up on the girl.
Sir, it's 500 meters.
Use your eyes.
My God. I can see her,
Yeah.
but she's just a girl.
She's still a vampire.
Can't be a vampire.
She is.
In the name, it's time to prove you're not just a monster.
Come on.
Target acquired, sir.
Now, Officer Ceres, take the shot.
Take the shot. Turn to dust.
Senior Officer Ceres Victoria shot target B.
All right. Good job.
Withdraw the unit. Victoria, welcome to the Hellsing organization.
Yay. Good job, girl.
Drink the blood. If you refuse to drink, your body will become weak. Do as I say.
Ah.
Yes, master.
Aw. Alright, and that's it. There's nothing after the credits. Nope. Alright. Okay. That was episode 2. Alrighty. You know, it is a little interesting because I recognize... I do kind of recognize some of this from watching Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, you know? We have the meeting with Ceres, between Alucard and Ceres, and then later we got... and then we also got pretty much this, where the two of them take out the couple. But it is very interesting that in the original Hellsing, it's stretched out over 2 episodes, whereas in Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, and by extension Hellsing Ultimate, it's all contained within the first episode. And even then, in the first episode, it still goes into, I guess, sort of, the first major villain, not to give any spoilers away. Which I will try to refrain from spoilers from Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, if I can, for anyone who's watching this for the first time, who maybe hasn't seen Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, so yeah. But that is just an interesting little detail, because, right now it is sort of the same story, it's just a bit more stretched out, and I'm alright with that, honestly. So, yeah. We can go ahead and pop into the notes here. The first thing I wrote down was Ceres and shot. So, yeah, Ceres had to take the shot, and the first time she failed, and Mathis had to take up the shot on that vampire. So that was interesting, that she basically just has an arc throughout this episode of having to, reconcile with what's happened to her, where she is now, who she is, and she has to overcome this in order to, well, take the shot, basically. So that was very interesting. We got a bit of now what's going to be her daily life at the Hellsing organization. And now it seems like she is going to be sort of a special soldier, if I could speak. Yeah, sorry. Mouth is a little dry, throat's a little dry, so my voice is going a little. I need some water. So instead, I'm going to drink a Pepsi that's here. Yeah. Oh well. I'll be sure to get water before the next thing I record. So, she definitely seems to be, she is a special soldier among them, with Mathis and the general there, which, I wonder, did he have a name? It might be this guy, Peter Ferguson? Maybe. Leaf, Jessica, Gareth, Kim, Anthony. Okay, so I would imagine it's that Ferguson. I'm just gonna assume that's him. So, while she still seems to take orders from him, he seems to be like the top general with the Hellsing organization, at least right now. She is different among the different soldiers, because the rest of them all seem to be humans, whereas she is a vampire, She is a vampire where the rest of them are humans, but she needs to reconcile with the fact that she is a vampire. So yeah, the next thing I wrote down was room. Again, we got a bit more into what her life is going to be like at the Hellsing organization. So, so during the day, because she is a vampire, she gets this special room where she can pass the day away, basically, where it has absolutely no windows, because obviously she can't, be in sunlight, she'll burn. And she also has, is like, this nice comfortable bed, which she really liked, but it's also a coffin, which was pretty crazy. And I didn't write this down, but the next thing I would want to talk about is Walter, because Integra mentioned, do you wish you were out there, basically. Do you wish you were out there? And he's like, no, I'm fine. I find complete satisfaction in, serving you, basically. Now, I don't want to get, too far into, Hellsing Ultimate Abridged in case you haven't seen it or anything. And I have no idea what's going to be happening in this show, so I don't know if they're going to go this route. But that does sort of, again, possible spoilers, I guess, for Hellsing Ultimate Abridged and just Hellsing in general. It is interesting that they hinted that because, yeah, he does sort of have a past about that. And if you've seen Hellsing Ultimate Abridged or anything where this happens, you do see how that sort of ties in later. And I'm really trying to be vague about that, But I did like that, sort of drop the little hint in there, So I will be curious to see if they do anything with that later on in this version of the story. So yeah. I wrote down the punks. They were punks, man. What are their names? Leaf and Jessica. They're punks, man. They're just some punks. They just went around killing random people, fucking, drenching the house in the blood of their victims, and then leaving. But apparently they were like barely hit by the vampire curse, as Integra said. So they were incredibly weak. They weren't like normal vampires, So, and you can definitely see that by the fact that, Leaf is the one that has the red vampire eyes. Jessica did not. She did not have the red eyes. Her eyes were still blue, but she was still a vampire. But they were incredibly, incredibly weak. Even Alucard said, didn't he say, like, you didn't... What exactly was it? Like, you don't...
Try as you might, immortality slips away.
Yeah.
You remain with only your shame.
I mean, Alucard gets shot a lot.
Christ, who is this fucking cocker?
No, I don't like this.
That's enough of this shit! Is that what it takes for filth like you to get off? Cheap little two-bit terrors. What's it to you? Eternity is wasted on the likes of you. Try as you...
Well, okay, so I can't find it, but I'm pretty sure he said at one point, like, yo, you don't even, like, you're not even drinking blood because you're thirsty. You're just doing it to do it, basically. And that's the thing, is they said, like, all right, we have to do this 9 more times in order to achieve our immortality, you know? Which is pretty crazy, you know, because they've been doing it enough to where the Hellsing organization has been able to track them, you know, and figure out where they're going to go next. And they still had to do it 9 more times, which is crazy. So they were incredibly weak, especially compared to Alucard. And, you know, they needed to feed and feed and feed in order to even slightly achieve immortality, you know? They just didn't have, you know, it's like Alucard said, they don't make good vampires anymore. You know, they don't make them like they used to. So, that's interesting, you know? Which that does sort of continue on from last episode when he was, you know, chastising the priest about it. You know, it's like, you're not a real vampire, you know? And I wrote down level 5. Alucard released his power up to level 5, which allowed him to create the tunnel and everything, which was interesting. And then the last thing I wrote down was blood. So while, you know, they're hunting down vampires that, you know, they're hunting down vampires that that are, you know, not really, like, they're not legit vampires like Alucard is. Saris, it seems to be, is a legit vampire. She's just trying to deny it a little bit. And at the end of this episode, it's like, you know, you can't deny this. You are a vampire. You need to drink blood. And she was like, oh, fine, I guess I will. You know, she hates that she has to do that, but she will, you know. And they even said, you know, when she was taking the shot, it's like, you know, prove that you're not just a monster, you know? Prove that you're legit, basically. And she shot, you know, Jessica. So that's interesting, is that, you know, we're getting all these sort of, you know, bad vampires that, you know, they're not really legit vampires, and we are training Saris to be a legit vampire, basically. So, yeah, I will be very interested to see where we go with that. You know, we're definitely getting a lot of Saris in this. Maybe more than I would have realized, you know, watching Hellsing Ultimate Abridged. I don't think they focused a ton on Saris in that one, but they are focusing a lot on Saris in this, you know. She was basically the main character this episode, not Alucard, which is pretty cool. So I will be curious to see what else they're going to do with Saris. And I'm still curious as to what we're going to be doing in this series. Because I know that this one does divert from the original manga at some point. I don't know when. So yeah, I will be curious to see where we are going. But yeah, that is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Hellsing reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.